Your cells have a master switch for building brand new power plants, for literally expanding their capacity to produce energy. In many people struggling with chronic pain and metabolic dysfunction, that switch has been turned off. And without it, the body can't build the energy infrastructure it needs to recover. This may be the deepest reason some people feel physically incapable of healing. Let me explain. I'm Dr. Padda. We've talked about mitochondria failing, fragmenting, and going unrecycled. But there's an even more fundamental question. Can your body build new mitochondria to replace the worn out ones? That ability is controlled by a master regulator with a complicated name, PGC-1α. And when it's suppressed, recovery itself becomes physically difficult. Here's the concept. There's a master regulator inside your cells, peroxisome proliferator activated receptor gamma coactivator 1-alpha, mercifully shortened to PGC-1α. Think of it as the master on switch for mitochondrial biogenesis, the process of making new mitochondria. When PGC-1α is active, your cells build new power plants, expanding their energy producing capacity. This is how a healthy body keeps its mitochondrial population robust. As old units wear out and get recycled, PGC-1α drives the construction of fresh ones. It's the engine of your cellular renewal and adaptability. The switch that lets you build the metabolic capacity to meet demand and to recover. Now the problem. In patients with metabolic syndrome, visceral adiposity, and a chronically sedentary pattern, the very profile we've been describing throughout this series. PGC-1α is essentially downregulated, turned down, suppressed, and without that signal, the body fails to replace its worn-out mitochondria. Think about what that means. You're not just dealing with mitochondria that are underpowered, fragmented, or unrecycled. You've also lost the ability to build new, healthy ones to replace them. The renewal pipeline is shut off. So these patients are caught in a double bind. Their current energy production is failing, and they're physically impaired in building the new metabolic infrastructure required for recovery. The factory is breaking down, and the ability to build new factories has been switched off. But here's the hopeful flip side, and it's important. We know what activates PGC-1α, what flips the switch back on. The single most powerful activator is physical activity, particularly the right kind of movement and exercise. When you contract your muscles against demand, you send a potent signal that turns PGC-1α on and drives the building of new mitochondria. This is one of the deepest reasons movement is so profoundly therapeutic. It's not just burning calories, it's literally signaling your cells to build new energy machinery. Certain metabolic states, like appropriate metabolic stress and fasting, also support it. The switch that modern sedentary life turns off is one that intelligent movement turns back on. The science is well established. PGC-1α is recognized as the master regulator of mitochondrial biogenesis through foundational work by researchers like Dr. Bruce Spiegelman. We understand its suppression in metabolic disease and inactivity, and its powerful activation by exercise. This is mainstream, rigorous cell biology. And it delivers a deeply empowering message. The master switch for building your recovery capacity responds directly to how you move. So if you've been unable to exercise your way out of pain, and you've felt like a failure for it, here's the missing context. If your PGC-1α is suppressed and your mitochondria are depleted, your body genuinely lacks the energy infrastructure to tolerate exercise the way a healthy body would. Being told to just push through without anyone addressing that underlying deficit was a setup for failure, and it was never your fault. The answer isn't to force it, it's to turn the switch back on carefully, building capacity gradually, so movement becomes possible and then powerful. So here's our approach, and the sequencing matters. First, where pain makes movement impossible, we use our interventional, regenerative, and metabolic tools to reduce the pain and improve the metabolic environment enough to create an opening. To reduce the pain and improve the metabolic environment enough to create an opening. Then we reintroduce movement intelligently and progressively, precisely dosed to activate PGC-1α and drive the building of new mitochondria without overwhelming a depleted system. As PGC-1α reactivates, your cells begin building new, healthy energy machinery, your capacity grows, and a genuine recovery becomes possible. We rebuild the very ability to recover. The switch that builds your recovery capacity can be turned back on, carefully, deliberately, in the right order. If exercise has always failed you, it may be because no one addressed this first. Go to painmd.tv and take the first step. I'm Dr. Padda. Let's rebuild your capacity to heal.